Hello everyone, welcome to another video, but before talk about of subject, don't forget subscribe and leave your like. Howard, how Seahawks are already emphasizing the run game. The Seattle Seahawks' sputtering rushing attack was a major problem this past season. With a slew of recent coaching staff additions, they've already invested major resources in trying to fix it. Analyst, how wild card Seahawks could surprise with first-round pick. Most notably, they hired Clint Kubiak to replace previous offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb. Kubiak hails from the Shanahan coaching tree, which places an emphasis on running the football with a wide zone blocking scheme. But the Seahawks didn't stop there. They also have added 5 new offensive coaches to Kubiak's staff, including John Benton as offensive line coach, Rick Dennison as their run game coordinator/senior offensive advisor, and Justin Outen as their run game specialist/assistant offensive line coach. Benton, Dennison, and Outen bring a combined 57 years of NFL coaching experience, most of which has been centered on the O-line. And those 2 positions that include run game in their title? That's 2 more than the Seahawks had on their staff this past season. During Wednesday's Blue 88 segment on Seattle Sports' Brock and Salk, former NFL quarterback Brock Howard gushed at the clear investment the Seahawks are taking to shore up a rushing attack that ranked 28th in the league this past season. "Holy smokes," Howard said. "You want to talk about spending and resources and capital and manpower all to fix a run game? They're throwing a whole bunch of people at it." Benton has spent 19 of his 20 years in the NFL as an O-line coach. Dennison adds another 28 years of NFL coaching experience, including 10 as an offensive coordinator, 7 as an O-line coach and 2 more as an O-line coach/run game coordinator. Outen, a former starting center at Syracuse, has held a variety of roles over his 9 years as an NFL coach, including 1 season as an offensive coordinator, 2 stints as a tight ends coach and 1 season as a run game coordinator. "Put your money where your mouth is," Howard said approvingly of the Seahawks coaching additions. "If you say you want to have a good run game, then you're gonna hire an O-line coach, and you're gonna hire an O-line assistant coach, and then you're gonna hire a run game specialist and then a run game coordinator. Something that stands out there is a strong degree of familiarity among the new hires. For one, Kubiak had both Dennison and Benton on his staff this past season when he was the New Orleans Saints offensive coordinator. But the ties go far deeper. Dennison spent 19 seasons working under Clint's father, Gary Kubiak, the latter of whom worked alongside 2-time Super Bowl-winning Denver Broncos head coach Mike Shanahan during the rise of the famed Shanahan scheme. More recently, Dennison has spent 5 seasons working alongside Clint Kubiak. Benton also worked under Gary Kubiak for 8 seasons, including 4 seasons that overlapped with Dennison. In addition, Benton spent 4 seasons working under San Francisco 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan, who is Mike Shanahan's son. "They all speak the same language," Howard said. "There's not gonna be, 'Hey, let's spend a month here so you can learn my terminology.' These guys all know this book really well. They know this game plan very well. They know the intricacies and the details of it." Gennaro Phillips 2025 NFL Mock Draft 1.0, Jets jump Raiders for Shedeur Sanders, Broncos trade up for TE. On the verge of a major pre-draft set piece, the NFL Scouting Combine, questions about the 2025 NFL Draft begin, well, at the beginning. And per usual, they revolve around the quarterbacks. Namely, Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. Will everyone's top 2 signal callers both fly off the board in the first handful of picks? Will one? Will none? With so many QB-needy teams lurking, it's hard to see either Ward or Sanders making it out of the top 10, at least at this juncture of draft season. The coming week in Indianapolis is sure to shake up the prospect pool in myriad ways, but in the calm before the spandex storm, here is my initial vision of how round 1 will play out. Programming note: tune in for live coverage of the 2025 NFL Scouting Combine beginning February 27 on NFL Network and NFL Plus. Talk about upward mobility. Ward's gone from incarnate Word to Washington State to Miami to number 1 overall? Seems quite feasible, whether or not Tennessee is the team making the pick. The well-traveled 22-year-old offers extensive experience, 57 collegiate starts, and the best quarterbacking tools in this class, most notably, a rocket that's functional from various platforms/arm angles. The question with Ward, is he too reliant on hero ball to consistently function in the confines of an NFL offense? NFL Draft Prospect Profile, an interview with Minnesota edge rusher Jah Joyner. Continuing our series of pre-NFL draft interviews, Field Gulls had the opportunity to interview Jah Joyner, a standout edge rusher from the University of Minnesota. Previously, we interviewed Jackson Slater, an interior offensive lineman from Sacramento State who had twice interviewed with the Seattle Seahawks. Who is Jah Joyner? From Senior Bowl measurements. Height, 6 feet 4 inches. Weight, 263 pounds. Hand size, 9 inch. Arm length, 34 1/8. Wingspan, 81 5/8. Joyner was a 4-star recruit as an edge and initially committed to Boston College as a member of the 2020 recruiting class before decommitting and changing his intention to play for Minnesota. He saw no action during the COVID-19 season, maintaining 4 years of eligibility before sitting out 2021 after seeing action in just 4 games. This made Joyner a third-year freshman with the program in 2022, when he broke through and played in 13 games for the Gophers. Joyner recorded his first career start in 2023, the only game he started that season, and otherwise had 7.5 sacks total. In 2024, Joyner stepped into a full-time starting role as a fifth-year junior and started all 12 games he played for Minnesota, recording 4.5 sacks. He ended up foregoing one final year of eligibility and accepting an invitation to the 2025 Reese's Senior Bowl. The Senior Bowl experience was great. I'm glad I was invited and definitely blessed to compete at such a high level. I got to meet a lot of great coaches and players as well. Joyner has received an invite to next week's NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis. We thank him for his time and this interview.